It is so great to be back again. I feel like it's been about, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Probably more like a month.
Yeah, it's been a little while, man. Yeah, so we back. It's been a little bit, but hey, we back. That's all that matters. That's what matters most. I say that.
For sure.
And I don't think we've dropped anything since maybe January. So, if I'm not mistaken, this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot to talk about.
For sure. Back like we never left. The timeline is very interesting right now. One of the big things that we've seen on our timeline within the past week or so is LA the Boomman. LA the Boomman is a topic of discussion right now in regards to a recent interview with Roscoe Dash that came out with Cam Newton, in which he shared a lot of opinions about his relationship with Boomman, the music industry, and his contract. And this has led a lot of other people to flock to the internet to give their opinion on the situation, and as well as the individuals themselves. What do you think about that, Brandon?
I think it was a very hold on. What part about it? I mean, because you and I both have our own viewpoints on this situation.
For sure.
We talked about it. What part are you asking about?
How do you feel about it in totality? How do you feel about it in the terms of the suggestions and accusations of bad contracts, and the way that it was brought to the media and brought to public knowledge in the internet, and the way that it was done? What do you think about the claims themselves and the way that it's kind of stimulating the internet right now?
I think that it should have been, or I think that a better way to approach it. Well, first of all, shout out Boomman.
Big shout out to LA to Boomman. Boomman still booming.
I think it was a weird situation, man. It was kind of painful to watch. Just knowing one of the people involved personally, and just seeing how this was going and how it was kind of orchestrated. It just was I don't know really what to say, because I don't really know what's going to come out of this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the shows that he went on, it seems like they kind of wanted to make sure they hit certain points that made the city happy, or made, you know what I mean, people happy that they made him explain or whatever.
Right, absolutely. In regards to the actual contract, I think that whenever we enter these business arrangements, that parties try to be fair, but I think everybody negotiates in the best interest of themselves. So I would suggest that you have legal representation or an attorney to look over any type of contracts of that magnitude for anything, regardless if it was him or Arista or Universal. If it was a real estate deal, I would have an attorney. So I think that regardless, I mean, it's kind of like, just like how they say it religiously, like ignorance is no excuse. Like these are just things that you're supposed to be prepared for, so you couldn't feel that way. And it's something that we see in the music industry a lot. I mean, there's always people complaining about their deals and what's going on in that degree. But what I will say is, I can't really say the business relationship, because I have a relationship with him. You know, he spent a lot of time in Valdosta, discovered KE on the track, arguably the pioneer of the just the futuristic wave and that sound in that time. But I think that a lot of artists got a lot of exposure dealing with him, you know, in terms of taking their career to the next level. But I also would have to say that everything costs. I mean, nothing is free. From getting your record spin in the club to getting radio plays. I mean, there's always a system to be able to pay for these type of services. And it's just how the music industry is. And how we were talking about the other day, I know a bunch of DJs who charge slots. They charge for interviews. They charge to take these artists on promo runs. And, you know, everything costs. There's a cost associated with just doing business. And I think that it's not uncommon to feel as if labels, management groups are not going to want to recoup for the time and energy and finances that might be invested in the project of an artist.
Yep, totally agree. Because just even coming from just from a business aspect, I'm sure you invested in
people,
invested in people,
mm-hmm.
and just knowing that this investment may not, you may not even want your return right now, but you know that this investment is better than they can do for themselves, or better than the situation that they had at hand at that particular time. And you know that, I think I mentioned to you the other day, finder's fee.
It's a finder's fee.
You know what I mean? It's like, look, if I can put you in a position that you probably wouldn't be able to put yourself in, or it probably would have took you some time to figure out how to get in this position, and I can put you in here, like, expedite this whole thing for you, and all you got to do is show up and do what you got to do, or whether you do or you don't, I'm still going to collect my finder's fee for exposing you to this opportunity.
Do you think that there was a smear campaign created to try to undermine his accomplishments in the industry?
For this particular moment that happened over the last, when did the Roscoe and Cam happen? Like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, something like that.
So for this particular moment that's been going on for the last 3 weeks, it's I don't think it was a smear. I mean, I don't think the Roscoe and Cam, shout out to them, I don't think the Roscoe and Cam interview was a setup. You know what I'm saying? I think that it was something that kind of just opened up, what they say, Pandora's box, or it just opened up the opportunity for him to go do perspectives. And then, I don't think it was a smear campaign, but I think it was just like it just was a little situation that he kind of got pulled into. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of, because, I mean, he did say, because I follow him in LA, and, Boomman, and watch the stories, and I didn't know anything about Cam and Roscoe. I had to go back and watch that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure if he was on his story saying that he was going to address all hate, or, address all questions in 2026 or something like that. I'm not. My timeline is kind of messed up in that area, so I don't know if he said that before Roscoe came on and did his thing, or that's what made him say that. But he was adamant about speaking his part. But I just think it was, I don't know. Maybe it just hit. I don't know. You know how passion gets you. You know what I mean?
Facts. Moving on, another big name that we see in the news right now is Afro Man. Afro Man just had a recent civil suit where he was being sued by the sheriffs in his respective county from a botched 2022 raid. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
So evidently, these guys came in, they raided his house, broke his door, broke his fence, didn't repair these things. And he began making parody songs about these officers. And I guess they got really offended. They didn't like the fact that he was making money on his platform. And they tried to sue him. And then the countersuit was that, I wouldn't even know who these people were if it wasn't like an unlawful raid into my home. So you guys are the reason why I even know your names. And I think one of the officers even ate some lemon pie or something like that from out of the kitchen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't go that deep into it. I know it was a lot going on. I don't even know how long the trial was, but I saw that, there was a clip where he was like, I won, this was for America. And then I saw a little clip where one of the officers, Lisa, was crying on the stand because he had this whole video, and it was like
Lick 'em low, Lisa.
Something, yeah. And it kind of put me in the mind of Dre Day, how they went in on Eazy-E.
Yes.
You know what I mean? How they had like a pretend version of her on there just doing all kind of crazy stuff, and he's dancing. And just classic diss track. You know what I mean? Classic '90s style diss track.
And he got like 4 or 5 of these records. But anyway, he won this civil court suit, so it makes me feel like maybe we're not doomed. Maybe that First Amendment rights in this country will prevail. I think they're being infringed on a lot these days, so that was definitely a win for First Amendment right here in the United States. Moving on, I was telling you about Bibi Netanyahu, Bibi the bomber. Bibi the bomber, Bibi Netanyahu, excuse me. So, as you know, they have war going on in the Middle East. There's attacks on Iran. There's counterattacks on Israel, Tel Aviv, and strategic bases for the United States over there. Have you heard about that?
Absolutely.
So we see that a lot of stuff is going on. People have mixed emotions about the war. But one interesting thing that's going on is that I guess Iran is claiming that they actually unalived Bibi the bomber. And this whole conspiracy theory came up that he was actually dead. There was some documentation showing that he was bouncing around on the plane trying to get to a particular location. But a lot of these European countries weren't letting them land in fear of repercussions to what's going on with the war. And then you got a whole bunch of videos that came out online that look like AI. People are making comments about infractions and things that are inconsistent, which are leading us down this rabbit hole, especially with the fact that he has not been actively present to a lot of the briefings in regards to the cabinet and the war. So it's interesting. What do you think about it, based on what you know?
Well, I didn't know much about it until you mentioned it, so I went and looked into it, and it's one of those things, almost like Bin Laden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they were. So I don't know, man. This whole news, war, economy. Just stage that's going on. It's very it's what's the word for can't trust it. Sketchy. You know what I mean? It's just very sketchy, man. So it's like my biggest concern right now is the safety of everyone involved. Not just the our troops, but just all the casualties that's going on, because it's a lot of, we don't know. We know what we see on the news, but I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's not accounted for.
Misinformation for sure.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, that's my biggest concern, is just the safety and just the innocent people that are being, in harm's way. But the economy, gas is going up. Mm-hmm. Price of oil is at like, what did they say, $113 a barrel. You know what I mean? It's just and then diesel is almost like at $5 a gallon.
Wow.
Yeah. So and then you got to think all this stuff require to deliver food, to all this this gas is required, this oil is required, in the Strait of Hormuz, or whatever it's called, there's complications there. Mm-hmm. So just really keeping an eye on that, man, because it's a lot going on right now.
And I don't know how true it is, but I heard that they were like
preparing for ground.
Yeah, they are, because the folks in Iran says, okay, we're going to open up the Strait of Hormuz, and everybody can transport oil through here except for Israel and United States. And that's just like...
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah, I seen some, I had to do some more extensive research, but that is definitely an article that I seen about them trying to basically fight sanctions and, put on their big boy gloves. But we'll see. I know another thing that's being affected right now is these TSA lines and transportation at airports all across the country right now. TSA lines.
That's due to a shutdown, though, right?
It is due to a shutdown.
That got something to do with the war?
No, I mean, it's just all the timing of everything right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is wild, because I mean, I know you've been on moving a lot, and I have some stuff coming up myself, but I saw a video of Hartsfield International today that just looked outrageous, and I couldn't see myself going there for a flight because they was talking about 5 hours early. If I'm not connecting in Atlanta, I'm not going there to catch the flight. I like because when you connect, you don't have to do all that.
No,
you know what I mean.
You're already in.
So I'd pay the extra to go to connect.
Mm-hmm. That's why I fly to Jacksonville. I don't really have those problems. Yeah, but sad day, man. Sad day. Chuck Norris, one of the martial art karate greats of our time, recently passed away. It's kind of sad about that, man. I've been seeing a lot of memes over the past year talking about his potential death, and now it's like it really happened. And they still got the memes all over social media about, I seen some funny stuff. It's like, what did he say? Chuck Norris is fighting in the hospital. We need to send paramedics for the hospital. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chuck Norris, man, legend. They played with his name for a while with the memes and, just what he represented, just strength and just like, just bravery and just being just a one of one just when it came to just being a badass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who's gonna fill those shoes, man, because Chuck Norris was a childhood hero, and just
Chuck Norris or Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I'm only saying Jean-Claude because in that didn't they have a movie together?
Chuck Norris and Jean-Claude?
No, they didn't. I'm just gonna say that because as a kid, Jean-Claude was like, he was just like, he was that guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, they made him more appealing, you know what I'm saying, to like the kids. He was like, there weren't many karate movies. You had like your Three Ninjas, you had your Karate Kid.
Three Ninjas was great.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you had those movies, but then it's like this Jean-Claude was like an introduction to like the grown up, you know what I'm saying, karate and whatnot, at that particular time, because, you had Bruce Lee and all that, beforehand. But I'd say Jean-Claude,
Jean-Claude or Steven Seagal?
Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude or Bruce Lee?
Bruce Lee, man.
So that shouldn't even be a question.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Be water, my friend.
Be water.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Chuck Norris, he will still be recognized as a symbol of just strength and just badassness. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just wild though, man. You Chuck Norris, one of them people he thought he was gonna be like Betty White.
Live forever.
I mean? Yeah, thought he was gonna make it 100 years old or something.
Yeah, man, there's no power in Cuba. Switching lanes a little bit. I just seen that Cuba has no power. They're off the power grid. They've been without for a couple of weeks, having issues getting oil there. And we don't know if this is a power play. It's like, are we trying to squeeze them out? Because I was also hearing that Russia was trying to send them some oil, and the United States said, no, they can't get the oil. They're going to have to wait. So it almost seems like they're trying to starve them out. I really don't know. I got to do some more research on this. But what I do know is that there are thousands of people without power on the island, and they are having problems getting oil. So I really don't know what the future of the country is going to be. I know somebody that's down there working in the military post, and they can't really give me too much insight of what's going on because they got generators and all that on the military base. But to know what's really going on outside there, I don't know, man. We have to see.
Yeah, man. Sketchy. Should get sketchy, man. And I just pray pray for the best, man. You know what I mean? We're in a time. It's just, you know, you can look at the stock market and just look at how things have just either went crazy up or crazy down in the last 2-3 months. You know what I'm saying? 3 weeks. You know, just look at these events that have happened over the last 6 months. You know what I mean? The Trump, when did he get in office? Last year? That wasn't last November, was it?
Man, don't ask me this question on air. I don't want.
No, we're past 100 days, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely past 100 days. 2020.
Oh, we passed 1 year? He got it in 24, right?
2028 is the new. It had to be 24 because 2028 is the new cycle.
Yeah, so if it's like if you just look back, if you just all these events happening, man, and just the stock market just reacting and just either just going up crazy, it's just like
there's a lot of market manipulation going on.
Yeah, and it's like, man, I can't really even like focus on like the headlines because it's like you can't, because it's like when you get the headlines, it's like, okay, I need to be taking this headline and lining it up with the market, seeing where this headline is affecting the market. Because if I'm following this headline and I'm just gonna wait on the next, you know what I'm saying, the next breadcrumb that they hit me with on the next headline, it's like I'm missing something in the market. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff is making stuff happen. Like I watched Trump briefing today where he was saying a lot of stuff, and it's just like, damn, man, he's really giving a lot of signals, you know what I'm saying, like market signals. Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy, bro.
Definitely. I think that this is probably one of the most transparent administrations when it comes to investment sectors and things of that nature, and like long-term plans of growth for the United States, man. So we'll just see where it goes, man. It's a scary yet exciting time to be alive, so I'm just going to buckle up and make the best of it. Before we get ready to wrap up, I seen a few things, man. One of them is that we got this meteor that crashed. The meteor crashed in Cleveland. Did you hear about that?
So it was a meteor?
It was something falling out of the sky. They say it made a boom when it hit the ground, but that's what most of the reports are saying, that it was in fact a meteor. So I have to check.
You sure it wasn't a missile?
No, I think that the boom would have been a little bit more explosive than what it was. They say it was just like a shook the ground type of thing.
Okay. Well, that's where are you doing your research on it?
I do some independent research on the Associated Press, Al Jazeera. I follow some of theirs as well, and then some of the local news. So when the local news pops up, I go check that particular area to see, the validity of the stuff that's being reported.
Okay. Shouts out to X.
Big shout out to X.
Because they always have the actual amateur footage, so you can really get the real story on what's going on out here. Like, shout out to X. And, yeah, I heard about it though, because I saw a quick little story flash across the screen about Cleveland or whatever, but it didn't say anything about a meteor. It just says something about like it just showed like an area where people had reported where they could feel it or hear it or whatever, and it was just like shit was like state, you know what I'm saying? Like the next state could hear it or whatever, feel it, or were impacted by it or something. Mm-hmm. Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, man.
Shout out.
He won the Oscar for Sinners, which I still have yet to see, but I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
Best Actor Award.
Best Actor. Won the Oscar for Best Actor. I didn't know he played like twins in the movie, so that's dope. You seen Sinners?
Yeah, Sinners is a great movie. I went to the theaters to go see it. I strongly suggest.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna check it out.
There's a lot of subliminal side notes in there too, man. You got to come back and read the clip notes. Ryan Coogler commentaries, but there's some interesting things that you'll see in there in terms of like one of the key things that I seen was the way that both of the twins were dressed. One of them was dressed. I'm just gonna shut up. Yeah. We're gonna let him watch it.
Yeah.
By the time he sees it, it will probably be on Netflix. But
doubt it, because it's on HBO right now, and they just, like I said, they just won a few awards at the Oscars. They just not awards. They just won a few Oscars last week, so it'll probably extend its stay on HBO. I'm pretty sure. Well, no, it's not going to Netflix. It's HBO. Like
it is.
They're not letting that go.
I just seen it on the Roku, man.
And it's going on. You know, HBO has category of like award-winning. You know what I mean? Like, so HBO's not letting that one go. They're not gonna put that. They're not gonna give up any rights to that to play it on any other streaming platform.
We will see. We will see. What do you think about the Family Hustle?
T.I. now?
Mm-hmm.
What about it? Them beefing with 50 Cent?
Yeah.
Anything new happen?
I wouldn't even call it beefing at this point. I just think that they're just
taking their shots.
Mm-hmm.
What I think about it? I think it's like 50 said on the 50 made a statement that he's the algorithm, and I can agree with that to an extent, to where he's got his shows in the algorithm, or he's got some drama going on, or he's popping something off. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely the algorithm when it comes to the culture and black entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think you're gonna get any replies from him. You know, there's enough stands, 50 stands, that'll put together some AI replies. I heard a reply the other day, and I'm vibing to it, and then I get toward the end, and I scroll through the comments, and I'm seeing all these, boy, AI crazy, AI, and I'm just like...
So my bots responding in the comments?
Just like people saying, like, you know, just confirming, like, hey, this is AI. Like, it sounds good, but it's AI. I don't know for sure, but, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if it was AI, because people are really good with it. You know what I mean? They understand it, and they can make some stuff sound identical to the artist.
For sure. That's what we need to be at, man. AI is taking over. Make sure you get a skill set within that field. Doesn't matter whether you're creating content, copy, organizing, managing, chatting. AI is the way to go.
Very much so. And if you ain't on the AI, get on the AI, because what he just said is straight facts.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to tell these good people, Mr. Tillman?
Excuse me. Yeah, be sure to follow Real Brandon Tillman on Facebook. Be sure to follow All Eyes on Media on all platforms. And also be sure to go, just be sure to go click the link below, and be sure to check out all the new e-content.
What's the new handle on Instagram? I tried to pronounce it. It took me like 45 minutes. I still think I got it wrong.
Oh, Blaberant?
Blaberant. I like that. Blaberant. How you spell that? Bleborant?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Apparel coming soon. Be really, really, really expectatious. Shout out T.I. I make words too.
Mm-hmm. You should have my own dictionary. Well, until next time, it was a pleasure. It's always fun to have the conversation. Make sure you tap in with all of our social medias. I'll be somewhere in the link below.
How can they get in contact with you and all of your adventures and all your escapades you got going on?
I just got to put the links in because I'm developing so many pages. Urban Demand, of course, is my personal page. Travel with Tony is my traveling page. Gold Teeth Master Academy is where we teach people how to make jewelry and gold grills. Urban Ink, the tattoo shop, and Gold Mouth Tony is where we actually do the grills. And of course, Mancave Memoirs. Of course, we have Dropping Jewels.
It's a man cave, right?
And of course, we have All Eyes on Media. So make sure you stay in the loop. Great informational content coming from all the pages. Until next time, you guys be great on purpose.
Bah!